Soaker hoses. I had no idea there were so many different types of soaker hoses. Melinda here, day 20, halfway through the Modern Homestead Challenge. Today we are talking about toxins and hoses and water cubes. Come along. Soaker hoses. I had no idea there were so many different types of soaker hoses. You have flat ones you bury and they puncture up. You have the rubberized, like recycled materials. There are so many kinds. You have some that are appropriate for water cubes, some that are appropriate for pressure, but if you hook them to your house, you have to get a pressure regulator so they don't burst too much. It was mind-boggling as I was researching getting a few simple soaker hoses for our garden. We have 3 we're gonna try. The one thing I was looking for above all the reviews was which ones are the least toxic. You wouldn't think of soaker hoses as being toxic to your veggies in the garden, but they are. A lot of the soaker hoses have that warning that contains chemicals known in the state of California to cause cancer. We don't know that here in North Carolina. Thank goodness we have the warning from California on these products. But I didn't want to get toxic hoses so that the water passing through ended up being harmful to vegetables we're going to eat. Can't get rid of all the toxins. There are definitely toxins in our garden, in our world, in our house, in our yard, but I wanted to do my due diligence and try to avoid toxins in the soaker hoses if possible. I chose 2 brands and we'll do those in a minute. First we got to hook them up and see if any of them can work with the pressure of the water cube. I hope they do. We'll see. Here goes. Let's see if water flows through, and let's hope it does. How far it goes. Come on, come on, come on.
Some little beads of water.
Success! It made it to the end. I am so excited. We have enough pressure on our water cube that our soaker hose is weeping. Yay! Let's try hose number 2. Plenty for our plants to drink. I am thrilled. The next test is, can it still have enough pressure if we hook a hose onto it and then put this in our garden? It's got to go through 100 or more feet in order for this to connect in our garden. So let's hope that it works. We already had one soaker hose, and I think you saw in a few videos several days ago, John hooked it up to the water cube, nothing. So this one has a regulator disc on there, a pressure regulator, so if you're plugging it in or hooking it to your house, then you don't want too much pressure because it'll cause it to split or pop. I don't think our water cube is giving nearly the pounds of pressure as our house would. So I'm going to try and pop this disc off and see if it'll work and if we can get this old one to work. It's still parked, doesn't have any cracks. Hopefully it'll work. Let's take a look and see. I'm just going to try and pop it off if I can get this disc out. There we go. Well, let's see. Well, no wonder. It is clogged. It has a ton of mess in there. Well, we shall see if we can get that cleared out and get it to work. All right, take 2 with the soaker hose. John did this several days ago and we got nothing, but I took the disc out. It's clogged. I'm hoping that isn't clogged with sand inside there or those holes will not weep. So we're going to see, let's see if this one works as well as the other ones just did. All right. Let's hope for success. Yay! Oh, there's a leak right there. It's got a little leak in it. but still not much. This guy's looking good. Oh yeah. It's taking a little longer for this one to get water. It has water, you can see it. It's got water coming out down here. This one, I think this one is also 25 feet. We went with 25 feet because the water cube, it's going to be a lot harder for a water cube pressure to do one that's 75 feet. So we did this one 25. Seems to be doing pretty well, not as well as the others, but I think it's usable. Looks great. Well, I'm just not sure how much it needs to snake around, and I also think I probably need to get some water going in it, and that will make it easier to move. It's a little bit rigid, it doesn't have any water flowing in it now. I'm gonna leave it, we're gonna hook up the hose, and then I'll try and move it around once it has water in it. We'll see, I'm probably going to have to adjust it. We'll see how it goes. We have 2 pieces of hose connected. John just tried. We don't have enough. He's gonna have to buy a repair kit, slice it, redo it so it'll hook up. But right now, the water's gonna have to travel through all of this hose in order to just get to our garden bed. So he's gonna wind it all up so we can test it out today, and then hopefully pick up a couple dollars, little repair kit or whatever, so we can chop off the hose and put a new end on it in the next couple of days. All right, so we do have lower pressure because it has to travel through all of this hose. We're gonna hook it up and see if it still has enough pressure on the garden for it to weep like we want it to. Let's see. Looks like water. Well, it worked. We did get the water. It came through all of that hose. It looks like it's gonna work. We've solved the initial problem of using the water cube into the garden to the water. Now I've just got to tweak it. We've got to figure out how we can make sure all of the plants over the width of the garden are getting it. I got the 25-foot hose, which is enough. We'll have to see. I'm going to play around with that, do some thinking, do some research, come back and talk to that tomorrow when we hook up the others. I mentioned earlier a little bit about toxins. Our garden, we're not using chemicals. We're using our hands to pull the weeds, and we aren't using pesticides or anything else like that. So we think, oh yay, it's organic food for our bodies, for our kids, even for little Lydia who's 9 months old. But we have to pay attention to how we water and what other things go in our garden. You can never ever eliminate the toxins in today's world. You just can't. They are everywhere in everything, from what you wear to what you eat to how what you eat was grown. What we want to do is just try and make sure that we eliminate as much as we can. We want us to stay healthy. We want our kids to thrive and not have ill health as much as we have control. God has ultimate control. We have responsibility to do our part in that as well. So I've got the best hoses that I think we can try for now. We might have to tweak it and play around with it. The absolute best water for our garden, of course, is rain. No toxins in that where we live. So that's it. That's day 20 from the Modern Homesteader Cultivating Real Life Challenge. Water toxins, oh my. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. We'll see you in the morning.